welcome back to my channel. I'm sharing an amazing recipe with you today. It is for my cauliflower pizza crust, a great one if you're gluten-free or if you just don't want to have the carbs and you want to substitute with something like cauliflower. I have a whole episode on cauliflower recipes and I didn't put this pizza in it because I feel like it deserved its own episode. It is such a star recipe. Cauliflower is having a moment. People are making nachos with it. They're making wings. Today I am making a cauliflower crust for you and I think you guys are going to love it. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. To make this cauliflower pizza crust, of course, we have our star ingredient, which is our cauliflower. The thing with our cauliflower is we don't want these big florets. We actually want to chop these up so that they're more of a cauliflower rice. I'm gonna be doing that in my food processor. You can also do this in a blender, or you can even buy pre-chopped cauliflower rice at the grocery store. You're just gonna be paying a premium. We need about 1.5 pounds of cauliflower to make this recipe. That's about 6 cups of cauliflower. Another thing that I throw into this recipe is some almond flour. That's a little different from most cauliflower recipes that you find online, but I find that it makes this really nice crisp crust that is just so delicious, and it's a must according to me in your cauliflower crust. Because this recipe is vegan, we're not using any egg, so I've got my ground chia seeds here. I'm going to be making a chia egg that's going to act as a binder for this recipe, and then we're going to add in a little bit of spice here. We've got some Italian spices, a little bit of garlic powder, and some nutritional yeast. And then we're just going to chop this into cauliflower rice. As you can see, this cauliflower just went from florets to a very fine rice style. Next, we're gonna be making the chia egg. So I've got my ground chia here, which I already showed you. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to this and mix it to combine. And we're gonna let this set in 10 minutes. This is gonna be really nice and thickened. Okay, so now we're gonna head over to our stovetop. We're gonna take that cauliflower rice and we're gonna steam it to soften. So this pot is boiling now and I'm gonna be steaming the rice for about 5 minutes to soften it. Oh, this cauliflower is so stinky. Ta-da! So this is really just to soften the rice. It's just a little more cooked than baking it from raw. So I'm just gonna transfer this cauliflower rice to a bowl, and this is really just to help it cool. If you have time, then you can just leave it in the sieve and it can cool in the sieve. We're basically just waiting for it to cool enough so that we can kind of use our hands to squeeze out any excess water. Now I'm gonna transfer this to a nut milk bag and we're gonna use that to just squeeze out any excess water. If you don't have a nut milk bag, you can also use a thin kitchen towel. I will include a link to the nut milk bag that I'm using below, and you can use it for a lot of other recipes like how to make almond milk, which I have a recipe for, we'll link it below, and a whole bunch of other things. And we're just gonna give this a squeeze because there's a lot of water that's coming out and we don't really want a soggy crust. So that's why it's really beneficial to squeeze out our cauliflower rice. It feels nice. I want to put this on my face. You know, a cauliflower mask so that you can have a really stinky face. So now I'm starting to squeeze and it's getting a lot more challenging to get that water out, which is perfect. We really want to wring out as much water as we can. It's feeling good. It's feeling dry, which is what we want. Okay. So my cauliflower is nice and dry now. I've squeezed out that excess water. I'm gonna be throwing it into a bowl with the remaining ingredients. So we'll toss in the almond flour, the nutritional yeast, the Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. And then lastly, add in that chia egg. And we're just gonna mix this together. And I'm just gonna get handsy with it now to really combine everything, and then we'll bring it into a dough ball. We got a cute little dough ball. She's so cute. Now I'm just gonna flatten this out into a pizza crust. We want it to be like a ½ an inch thick. The only thing about cauliflower pizza crust is like you have to go under the expectation that it's not dough. It's its own thing.
Does it get crispy?
It's crispy, but it's not like a dough crispy. It is more fragile, and also it doesn't last as well. Like you kind of have to eat it like right away, and then it starts getting soggy again from like the tomato sauce. So like right when it comes out of the oven, it's like cut it and eat it. Oh no, I forgot my salt. What do I do?
Sprinkle it on.
Okay, I'm just gonna sprinkle some on top so it's a little salty. You cannot forget salt in a recipe. It enhances everything. Don't do this at home. Just add the salt when I tell you to in the recipe ingredients. It's because I'm pregnant, that's why I forgot. I never forget an ingredient. So I want this to be nice and smooth, and I want it to be flatter. So I'm gonna take some parchment paper and I'm just gonna roll on top so that everything is the same level. This pizza crust looks so good. It's the perfect amount of thinness. So I'm just gonna transfer this now to my baking tray. And we're gonna be baking it at 450, so high heat for 20 minutes. So this has gone in the oven at 450 for 20 minutes. Then we're gonna reduce the heat after 20 minutes to 400 and cook for another 15 to 20 minutes. So next up is just to decorate the pizza. I'm just doing a traditional margarita. So I've got my pizza sauce here. This is my homemade marinara. I'm gonna include a link below so that you can get that recipe. I've got a YouTube episode on it. You can also just use like store-bought pizza sauce. I always just kind of like to cut around paper, just because it looks prettier. Ta-da! I like to chop some fresh basil to put on top. Time for the taste test. Oh my God. I love a cauliflower pizza crust. You got the cauliflower and the almond flour working really well in this crust. It's being held together thanks to that chia egg. And all around, this is such a good alternative to a traditional pizza dough. Love that crispy edge as well. It's just perfect. So good. If you try this recipe, let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give this recipe a like, and follow for more wholesome vegan recipes. I'll see you soon. Bye.